Hi folks, I'm back again with another ultraviolet anomaly video. Again, everything is intended to show evidence of other things that happen in ultraviolet only. Notice that you can't see the stars well. That's nice. A lot of these flashes are more than just flashes. Obviously, just like the last one, uh, those are the ones I really like to show you. There's uh, the area that I'm targeting is right above the time and date stamp. And so you'll see it in the same areas. These anomalies happen like that portal. I believe this is a portal opening from a black hole, exiting out of a white hole. That's why you get that color shift. And as the video progresses, I get a little better and I show you slow motion like around the 5th of August. Now this video covers a little over a week, and if there weren't so many, I'd wait even a little longer, but oh, that's the Stargate that is it. This is all in the same area, and there's a real weird effect going on August 5th too. And I'll let you build up a little nervous tension waiting for it because it's so anomalous I can't describe it. Again, that's a security camera that you see in the foreground. And there's the Stargate active again. I get a little better on this too, to where I can show you in video slow motion how things pass through it. And this is just something that comes right out of that same area. It although it blinks, this is not an aviation light. It's like a mock or a faking of an FAA strobe. It just come out of nowhere, move off usually to the west. Another portal. Again, these are not visible in regular infrared, and I've had a side-by-side comparison that's just not I'm not able to show you. There's nothing to see. So the cloaking technology must be intended to be in ultraviolet, and they use this same area because of the cloaking technology that they have available there. And if I'm right, this Stargate is a massive Stargate sitting in a Lagrange orbit because it doesn't move. Now that's kind of weird. It just this is ultraviolet source that moving through the air that has no source, an ultraviolet light that has no source. The only known source is that security camera you see. And it's set up this way so that I can get more sky. That's a beautiful picture of something going through the Stargate. And I'll try to zoom it. we'll do a slow motion of those too, and that's coming up. Some of these you can barely see, but this little Ghost Pro is very sensitive in ultraviolet. It actually enhances ultraviolet light very, very well. And it gives about a 12 megapixel picture. But the zoom, if you'll notice as you see the zooms, this works on all digital photography, I guess. It tends to break down the more you zoom in. That's a beautiful close-up. There is something out there, but the things that are passing through it show a distinct size disadvantage to the gate itself. Now, if it were anything like a satellite solar panel, say, it would be completely destroyed by now. The amount of hits, just since I've been watching it since late June, I think I first sighted this thing. Now I'm trying to get a little better with these with the videos and the close-ups. So you'll see that I slow down the image and zoom in as far as I can possibly do to show you the similarities in these portals opening. They're all the same. Configuration, just dimmer or brighter. Now there's a little flash. And I tell you, some of these flashes are so interesting. They're not simple flashes, as you'll see. And I hope you're watching in high definition. We've got something coming up that's just crazy. And this is when I start slowing it down and zooming in. That was a little dim one. Normally I'm not saving the real dim ones anymore. There are just so many of these that happen during an hour that the bright ones might be more useful. And you'll see that this portal kind of spreads out, drips sort of to the right, and then rounds again and brightens, exhibiting almost two different brightnesses in one shape. And you'll always see the little blinky stars or whatever surrounding these portals too. I can only think that they're a white hole, and that's pretty interesting. This little sequence coming up is a little higher than the regular portal, and it moves through space. little blinky. And I'm trying to target the area right above the time and date stamp. So when you see the security camera, when it's more centered, you'll find that this little portal is also more centered over the area in between the time and date stamp. And this is when I start getting a little better on the videos, trying to show the whole process of something obviously moving through another object. And really, it seems that things have slowed down. You see the little orb to the lower left? And some of these get very, very sharp in the next few showings. But some of those little blinks are more interesting than anything else. I just don't think a meteorite can blink. And I was willing to think that that Stargate was actually in low Earth orbit because of the trailing tail that you can see, and you can see how when you zoom in on a digital film, it actually tends to have a lot of artifact. But when you see the security camera centered in the picture like it is, then this portal will also be centered over that center spot between the date and the timestamp. Then it's just a matter of how far above the time and date stamp that this actually occurs. The lower the security camera is in the frame, the lower this portal seems to be too. I don't want to cut it off completely though. Now these should be really sharp. You see how it trails down to the right? And this seems to be indicative of a regular event. And it'll dip to the right, up, and get brighter, and then wink out. And this is what I mean about one of the blinks. Doesn't look like a meteorite to me. Again, a portal. And it'll dip to the right, back brighter, and wink out. And this is it becomes really apparent that they're all very similar events at different times when you slow it down and zoom in. Dip down to the right, get brighter, and wink out. But you can see the targeting is pretty much exactly uh, like I was telling you. Anytime in the upcoming videos, you can relate yourself to the security camera, and just over the time and date stamp for the majority of these instances. And I don't want to, I do move it around just to show that it's not a part of anything, oh, any kind of reflection or anything that it is its own separate incidences that happen in the night sky, although not visible to the naked eye. And I think we're getting into the really weird one. Yep. I don't know what to make of that. There is no source for this ultraviolet light. And it happens for about a 30-second total incident here. This has happened before in June, but it's so weird that I didn't post it before. And it took watching another YouTube video that apparently showed a what they were calling a structure in the sky. And that's all I can think of is some kind of a structure, although it might be holographic. The little ring system reminds me of science fiction that I've read on space elevators, but I don't think they needed a, a vertical component like it is there. I have no idea what it is. I've tried to recreate this, by the way. There's nothing I can do to recreate that happening. Now this is kind of weird. This is a cigar shape that came out of nowhere, hung in that portal area, and then blinked out. And I kind of had to highlight it and bring up the sharpness in order to really see this. This is a very, very cloaked vehicle or craft of some sort. And I just barely caught it. It was so far deeply in the ultraviolet that it was almost invisible, even with ultraviolet camera. And August 8th brings us back up to date. Now I'm not sure how long this thing is either, but you can see that it may be quite big. And this is what I mean about a blink. They look like two separate craft, and obviously not meteorites. And just another little portal to end it. And I thank you for your view.